good tune. Yeah.
The shepherd will take.
Right, this is Gilbert Williams, born in 1894. He wrote on the 6th of April 1916. Dear Mr. Hunt, thank you very much for your letter which I received a week or two ago, also for the magazines. We are in the trenches now. In fact, we seem to spend about 3 times as much in as we do out. Also, we're in a pretty warm spot. It was about here, towards the end of last summer, that French and German had some of the fiercest fighting of the war. The country around here is a veritable maze of trenches. The fighting at one time was so fierce that there was only just time to bury the dead in the sides of the trenches. And now that the trenches have crumbled, one is constantly seeing the bones of men's legs or their boots or skulls sticking out from the sides of the trenches. Pleasant, eh?
Speak up.
All right, I'm trying. There will be a pleasant smell here in the summer. I only hope we are not here then. In places, we are about 20 yards away from Fritz and Company. Consequently, at times, air is pretty thick with bombs, grenades and trench mortars. These last are pretty hellish sort of toys. They have explosions like about 10 earthquakes. But even these are not the worst we have to put up with. The trenches being so close together, there is of course any amount of mining going on. So one never knows when this particular lump of earth one is standing on is going to take a trip through the solar regions. When a mine goes up, there is some excitement about it, I can tell you. Suppose, for instance, we are going to explode one. All the artillery in the neighbourhood is ranged on the spot and directly the mine is exploded. There is hell, lots of craters, and unfortunately lots of death. Of course, one can on these occasions always rely on a good many casualties. Since we have been in this spasm, there has been 5 explosions in the neighbourhood. Hope everything is okay in town. I hear some Zeppelins flew over the Thames the other day. That's it. Sincerely, Gilbert Williams. And he actually lived into the Second World War as well. So he did the First World War and the Second World War. And he died in 1948.
Brave.
That's brave. Yeah, brave.
Charles Hamilton Sawley. You are blind like us. Your hurt no man designed, and no man claimed the conquest of your land. But gropers both through fields of thought confined, we stumble and we do not understand. You only saw your future bigly planned, and we the tapered paths of our own mind, and each other's dearest ways we stand, and hiss and hate, and the blind fight the blind. When it is peace, then we may view again, with new won eyes, each other's truer form, and wonder, grown more loving kind and warm, will grasp firm hands and laugh at the old pain. When it is peace, but until peace, the storm, the darkness and the thunder and the rain. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Realised that no one was going to mark the graves of those that fell during that conflict up at Shorncliffe Military Cemetery. So, came up with an idea called Light in the Darkest Hour. I'm the fool who went to IKEA and bought 500 lanterns. Thank you so much for carrying them through Folkestone. It is absolutely spectacular to see you do it. Light in the darkest hour is always about community engagement. The first year we did it, it just seemed like a good thing to do. It just seemed like the right thing to do. To have you guys now do it 10 years later to mark that anniversary, I thank you very, very much. We went on to do it several more times, and we were a little bit more ambitious in 2019. If you, these lovely people could raise up these lanterns, these are now the lanterns that cross the world and carry the spirit of the fallen from Shorncliffe, from Belgium, all the way around. Back in 2019, it carried the flame of 50,000 Canadians who never went home from Shorncliffe, carried them home to their families in Canada. Tonight has been very special. It is about lanterns. It's about shining the story back onto those who fought and fell, those who left these very platforms. The Shorncliffe Trust is very much about keeping their memory alive, and we're very honoured that in Folkestone there is a gentleman called Stanley who at the age of 90 stood where you are now and had the inspiration to see the men who left from this platform. He wrote a poem that you heard tonight. We are making a short documentary about him called Meeting Stanley. His family are here tonight. Step forward, please. Their father is one of the most amazing men. He just says he's just an ordinary guy. But at the age of 90, he became a poet. How old is he now? 97. He's 97 and still writing and still not happy with what he's written. That is a true poet. An absolute inspiration. At the Shorncliffe Trust events, we're very lucky that we... It is called A Perfect Day. When you come to the end of a perfect day and you sit alone with your thought, while the chimes ring out with a carol gay, the joy that the day has brought, do you think what the end of a perfect day can mean to a tired heart, when the sun goes down with a flaming ray and the dear hearts have to part? Well, this is the end of a perfect day. They're the end of a journey too, but it leaves a thought that is big and strong, with a wish that is kind and true. For memory has painted this perfect day in colours that never fade, and we find, at the end of a perfect day, the soul of a friend we've made. All Harry wanted to do was start the day and finish the day with the same amount of friends he had. That's all any person in our military wants. That's all we ever want to do ourselves. I'd like to say a huge thank you for Matthew and his team who organised this. It's been an absolute pleasure to have our lanterns out today. And if you'd like to see meet our lanterns here, please come and have a look. Thank you very much indeed.